Raymond Omollo is the PS in the Interior Ministry, one of the very prestigious ministries ever since Kenya gained independence. In fact, he is the second person from Luo Nyanza to occupy that position, only held by the late Hezekiah Oyugi. I stand to be corrected, but that is the history that I've learned from the older politicians. And Omollo will receive William Samoei Ruto in Homa Bay in a very auspicious homecoming ceremony to thank William Ruto and to present William Ruto to his people in the midst of all the altercations, to show them that William Ruto, despite the fact that they did not vote for him, because Nyanza region, where Omollo comes from, largely voted for Raila Amolo Odinga in the last elections. So he's going to present William Ruto and tell them that despite the fact that they never voted for William Ruto loves them, and that's why he gave them that position. But something is going haywire. There is something that is promising to spoil that party. And Robert Allai reveals to Raymond Omollo that if he is not careful, he's going to find a rough time back at home. His homecoming is coming against a backdrop of high tension at the Luo and Kalenjin border. People are fighting and many have lost their lives. Others are maimed. In fact, the situation, I understand, is getting out of hand. And so this is what Robert Allai says. Robert Allai has a message to Raymond, and he says that as Raymond Omollo plans his homecoming, these are the statistics in Sondu. Sondu is actually the place where these altercations are taking place. And Robert Allai gives statistics: those with gunshots admitted at Nyando Hospital, those with arrows and pangas, and the list goes on, those who are dead and all that. So he tells Omollo that as you plan for your homecoming party, where people will be dining and there will be a lot of politics there, these are the statistics. Why is it significant to Raymond Omollo? As the man in charge of security, it is expected that he's got the powers within his hand, because when you are given a position, it is assumed that you are given the powers. And so he's being reminded that his people are dying under his watch. And these are the people, the youths, that Robert Allai believes are causing mayhem and havoc in that area. Robert Allai does not end there. He did another tweet. He said, Ray Omollo is the problem, because apart from Joseph Sigei, the Sondu gangs were commanded by the OCPD from Kericho side, who directed them, provided protection, and ensured that they killed so many. Robert Allai is alleging there that these were goons that were given protection by the Kenya Kwanza regime to kill their other brothers from the Luo community. And Robert says that with video evidence here, let's not be taken to be fools. And that video evidence is what I want to play for you.
We are very clear. Any criminal activity must be met by the full force of law. So anyone who is involved in any act that is criminal, irrespective of whatever justification anyone can have, must be able to face the full force of law. As we speak today, there has been a meeting of all our security agencies, both in Kisumu County and Kericho County. The county security uh, committees. They've had their meeting just to review what has transpired since yesterday. And they've already put in place a mechanism, not just for deterrence, but also a way of ensuring that this doesn't recur or doesn't get out of hand. Now remember, the problem in Sondu is not a problem that has begun yesterday. It's a historical problem. And as a ministry, we are also calling on the leadership from both Kericho and Kisumu County that reason has to prevail, and we must be able to have an amicable way of settling this.
If you ask me, Ray Omollo sounds someone who either does not care or does not have the powers to stop what is happening. Kindly subscribe to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and click the notification bell so that whenever we do a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. As usual, as always, I want to thank those who support us in one way or the other. Let us face it, ladies and gentlemen. When you are placed in a position such as where Ray Omollo is, he's got the powers. And if what Allai is anything to go by, that the goons were commanded from Kericho, I think by Kericho OCPD, then I would blame Raymond Omollo squarely. Why? As the PS in the Interior Ministry, a phone call can stop any looming mayhem. If he just picks a phone call, gives that OCPD a request or a command, he can save the situation. But look at the excuse that he's giving. That these are historical, that these are things that started, and it's just like he is telling us that he's got no powers to stop it because it has happened before. And from what we know is that during the Nyayo era, people were being used to cause those border tensions for political mileage. And it only happens when we are approaching elections. And so Ray is saying that it is okay to happen. It is like he's giving it the green light. I don't want to blame him so much, because just like many other people who are working for William Ruto, they are forced to defend unpopular ideas. From the judiciary to the police, look at the way Kithure Kindiki is fumbling. Sometimes he's on top of things, saying that you're free to demonstrate. At another point, he's giving warnings and he wants to arrest Raila Amolo Odinga. This is the most difficult place to be in, supporting a regime that is fighting to gain legitimacy at all cost. It has come at a very wrong time for him, because when Rigathi Gachagua will rise up, he will present Ray Omollo and he will tell them, nyinyi hata kama amku tupigia kura bakini bado mlivuna. You've seen him talk that way. So he will be presenting a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Interior who is presiding over assassination of his own brothers and sisters. And this is why I'm saying that this is what is going to spoil for him. What is he going to tell the people? And mark you, I understand that Raila Amolo Odinga has also planned for another rally. I don't know if there's a function that he's going to attend in Homa Bay. Of course, the Kenya Kwanza team have started lamenting that Raila wants to spoil this party for them. And I think because they are chest thumping and they are saying that Raila Meisha, maybe this is the time to show them that Raila is still there. He was there the other day when he presided over the unveiling of New Care, the chairman of the Luo Council of Elders. Ruto sent some people to go to court, the other wing, the faction that is supporting William Ruto. And so it is like an all-out war between William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga. Ruto had said that Raila is gone, Raila is finished, and he wanted to take him to Bondo. It is like Raila has gone through some metamorphosis and he wants to show Ruto, prove to him a point. I believe that there will be no violence, but at least you will know who has the crowds. I saw a video where some youths are given money by Ongondo. Where was that? Some member of parliament in Homa Bay. You see, we are in an era where people can revise and revisit some old videos, but I trust that video because some youths were really singing and they're given money. If you are in Homa Bay, make sure that between today and tomorrow, go and get money. It is your money. Nyakagonyu. So, ladies and gentlemen, Omollo is between a rock and a hard place. When he will be unveiled, Ruto will be showing people just how much he loves the Nyanza people. But at the same time, Omollo has refused or has failed to stop this mayhem. It shows very clearly that Omollo is just there as the name and the title, but he does not have the powers. Let us face the reality. Because sometimes we can blame him. He really is burning within to stop this, but he cannot. Because there are those who are pulling the strings. So he can only but watch as his brothers and sisters are getting butchered. Like the biblical Moses, sometimes you decide whether you want to stay in Pharaoh's house, having known that these are not your people. Knowing very well that you're in Egypt, but you're not an Egyptian. So you either decide to dine at the king's palace, or you walk out and you suffer with your people. Raymond Omollo will decide whether he wants to dine at the king's palace and watch their people being persecuted like the Israelites were being persecuted in Egypt. It seems to me that he has decided to stay at the king's palace. And sometimes it is good to stay at the king's palace because while you are there, there's certain information that you can have and you can leak them before they get out of hand. And ladies and gentlemen, I sympathize with Raymond Omollo, but from where I sit, I can assure you that he doesn't have the powers. Those who are blaming him, and some are telling him to resign, no, resignation is not the issue here. He's also looking to make ends meet. I don't know what to think, ladies and gentlemen, but that's my take.